Hello everyone! In this tutorial I will show you how to paint this cute Christmas stocking with this holiday greenery, and I will take you step by step and show you the technique I'm using here. I'm gonna show you guys how to reach that loose stylized style and not go too hyper realistic. If you are my Patreon member, you get extended version with the drawing, and check out the link below how to become a patron, how to support me and get exclusive for patrons tutorials and a lot more extra stuff like traceables and more. If this tutorial was helpful, please give it a like, subscribe, check out my other videos, and thank you for your support. I'm starting with the stocking inside. I want it to be like grayish, more like white color. I'm gonna use my ultramarine blue with a little bit of burnt sienna. Make this nice grayish bluish. I'm gonna test it. Scrub paper. If you need to make it lighter, add water. And I'm just gonna start with the edges. And with the shadow parts. So I'm painting wet on dry. Bring my paper towel here, just kind of smooth these hard lines a little bit. I'm using my number 10 round brush, going around these berries and adding more shadow. So I'll need more of this shadow color. And actually I would like to add a little bit of more blue. So while it's still damp, you can play with it, add another layer. Maybe go edge here, here, and a couple of lines. Okay, now with my damp brush, I'm wiping off paper towel and just some areas I'm softening the edges. Okay, leaving some areas white. So we're gonna do same here. And inside the stocking will be your darkest, because everything is inside, it will be in the shadow. So I'm just going around these berries, adding that soft shadow, a little bit on the edges, tapping with paper towel, cleaning my brush and tapping off some water and just blending, softening the edges. And can go darker under this top trim using same mixture, and just figure where your light source is coming from. So mine is from the top right, so I can darken left here, maybe soften in some areas, and you can add that. I'm gonna go with indigo and my perlin green. Have that nice dark green, and I can just start painting in around these red berries, like a shadow. And it's going to be my first layer, so I will figure out if I need to go darker. When it dries, you can see, you can tell, or while you're painting, you still can figure it out. Just go around. So I want to keep it, still keep it loose. I don't want to just paint every single like berry, make it too realistic. I want to have it stylized and loose. And I also what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna use my spray bottle and I'm just gonna give it mist. So in this case, I will not go that realistic. And let's start painting the greenery. So I have my perlin green, my undersea green, all right, and actually let's do berries first. Yeah, I'm gonna use my cadmium red light with tiny bit of yellow, that nice bright red, maybe more. So I have enough for everything. So my brush is full of paint now, so a little bit of yellow. Okay, leaving the highlight on the right. Okay, more red, and I have nice and thick color here. Can use smaller brush if you guys like, but I don't want to go like too detailed. I already sprayed it and I will spray it again. I really want them to bleed in some areas. Okay, let's see if it wasn't too much. Okay, I have that highlight. Maybe switch to smaller blunt brush. Let's do number 8. So I'm using number 8. It will start bleeding in those wet areas. And I think it's really interesting. I even like this part. Okay, highlight. Looks like I don't have much water here, but this one is nicely bleeding. Okay. If you guys want to go more realistic and this is not your thing, just don't spray. Just go paint those greeneries, those berries, just as you would usually do. But I wanted to make it more fun and loose. Okay, just dabbing. Okay, can mix in your darker green. So I'm using alizarin crimson. Can even add a little bit of purple to make that burgundy shade. I'm trying not to touch that green shadow because I didn't wait for this to dry completely. I'm just trying to go around. Go around, paint those berries, highlight. There you go. And it's actually very therapeutical. Okay, now let's add greenery. So here's my undersea green. So I'm using the same brush, you guys, and I'm tapping off paper towel. So I'm just, let me see, I want that loose. Let me spray in some areas again. Not gonna spray too much on the berries, but I want this greenery to be loose and have that stylized, abstractish look. So I'm just gonna wiggle my brush, let it bleed on that side. Here some are larger points, some smaller. Going around these. I will let it be like this and let it naturally bleed, because it's gonna be in the shadow. Then you can go around and paint the details of those berries if you like, but I really like that blending effect. And going around. Adding more darker value, parallel green. So I'm pretty much not painting the details, I'm painting just the color spots. So blob spots, how you call it, and with my green and red. And it's gonna be the first layer, and I would add more. But now I'm just dabbing those shadows in and adding some like loose lines. Just adding more darker value with indigo and parallel green. Again, just dabbing those shadows. And I like how they bleed together. And maybe around this I'll just go more careful. I would like to have a combination of more detailed with more stylized, loose, abstractish. And okay, I will let this part dry now. I will start with the stocking design. Okay, here we have bleeding on your white. And just stop it with paper towel. And some areas where you feel it was like too much, you can control it with paper towel. Okay, I'm gonna spray here tapping with paper towel around, because I don't want my color go outside too much. If it goes a little bit, I'm fine with this. I like it. Okay, I'll start with that green. And just see the areas where it's gonna bleed, where you're gonna have more control. So it looks like my holly leaves, these two, not bleeding much, but this one does. And I like that effect. And I will show you how you fix it, how you make it interesting, but I really like that loose wash. So I'm gonna add more parallel green with my indigo at the bottom. So this is like ornament I have. It's gonna be red. I'll just paint around it. And I'm keeping this nice and loose, like creating like just with my dabbing, just creating that shadow and my dark wash. So I'm gonna have that nice bright yellowish green, just gonna dab all around. And even here at the top, I'll just dab some that yellowish green. Okay, let's paint berries. So highlight. Okay, it's gonna start bleeding a little bit. And highlight here. It's like a round ornament. And have some berries here. Maybe add a few more. And it's dry now, and look at it closely. I absolutely love that loose wash I did, and look at that granulated effect. And that's the wash I did, and I think it came out great, exactly how I wanted. And now I will go back with some details. Let's add a few details here without overworking, because I really like that loose and abstractish. I don't want to go too much into realism. So I'm going to use the same mixture I used earlier with my indigo, a little bit of burnt sienna, and just want to maybe add a few pieces for like fur. I've decided I want to make this top part like it's a white kind of grayish fur. So I'm using from left to right, just making this light motions of my brush. I don't want to go too much. And maybe add tiny shadow line at the bottom and kind of broken line for the edge of my stocking. On the bottom, just broken lines in some areas. On the sea green and a little bit of perylene green, have that nice green color. I left that cute highlight though. All right. If we want, we can add like small red line here. Maybe it's gonna look, yeah, it's gonna add some interest, but not take your eye away from the whole painting. Now I will go with my reds, and with that alizarin crimson, my darkest red, and add the shadow at the bottom and paint a few berries. And not that much. So I'm just going under in the shadow part and just adding that tiny detail. Okay, with my damp brush, just gonna soften the edge. So I'm gonna use my perylene green and go around with my negative painting. Some will do like the pine needle, and if you're on these, not going all the way around, I'm just dabbing in some areas to indicate that shadow. Dabbing, maybe some like more like a needle looking, pine needle looking shapes. And here more details. Okay, going on top here. See what I'm doing? I'm just adding a few details here and there. I like those loose berries here, loose greenery. All right, and on that side, just a few. Just a few lines. pretty much just adding some darker value. So maybe they're coming off the stocking here. Now I'm gonna go with my liner and burnt amber and just connect these berries to like simple twigs so they're not just flying, just they're all connected. And this white one I will paint red, connecting. And here, just maybe a few extra lines. And maybe just add like twiggy, like swirly, something. Yeah, few maybe brown dots on the pines. Yeah, it adds more interest now. Let's finish the bottom part. We're gonna also connect these berries. Maybe extend a little bit. Not going super realistic. I'm trying to stay away from that. On the hollies. Maybe that vein in the middle. Honestly, I don't want to go details here. I'm just gonna make one side darker. That's how I want to do. Keep it loose. Don't go too much into details. No. I like that loose, stylized feel. So I'm just adding a couple of pine needles here, there, maybe here. And this is all, and maybe here, so it's not white. So it's part of the design. Let's finish this red berry. And add a few shadows on some of these. I think I want to go with my indigo and make that burgundy. Just boom like that. Oh yeah. Maybe water it down, tap my brush, and make it a little lighter. But this is it. Maybe on these two. And completing this. With my green. Maybe a few outlines. So you see now I have some details. You can see those are holly leaves, those are pine needles, those are berries, but I didn't go too much into details. And the last thing I just want to do, add my snow splatters. They will look beautiful against the dark green, even though my paint is not completely dry in some places, and I want to have that loose bleed maybe in some areas. And add those couple of highlights so to bring it all to life. And here on my pines, it looks so great on your dark green. And in this bottom piece, maybe a few, like, okay, done. Maybe just separate these two, red and green. Add tiny bit of red again. If you want another fancy detail, you can splatter gold. So I'm just gonna go as I used in my previous paintings from the same Christmas collection. All these gold splatters, I'm just gonna do it here as well. So I'm using my cheaper brush for gold metallic and get good amount. Just get another brush and just splatter. Oh, that's so gorgeous. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Here's another beautiful Christmas card. And I hope you guys had fun. Please comment below what do you think about the loose style. And thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for your support. Check out my Patreon, become a member, and check out more advanced tutorials there. And I'll see you guys soon in my next video. Have fun! Here is another cute Christmas card from my collection. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and comment below with your thoughts on this loose technique. I hope you enjoyed it, and check out my other videos for Christmas cards and ask any questions. Thank you so much for watching, and happy painting!